Hello everyone, welcome back to today's video. Today's video is going to be me talking about why Rising of the Shield Hero has set such a high standard for collabs nowadays. So first let's get into the reason why they have set such a high standard. The event, it wasn't the best, and in my opinion it was actually one of the worst events because they didn't actually have a story, and the main part of a collab is you have a story where the characters from Seven Deadly Sins and the anime collaborate with each other to do something. That's what collaboration should be, but unfortunately this time there was no story. But that aside, this collab was insane. Every character was designed to have a very certain purpose with a place somewhere in the game currently. For example, Philo is the most broken DPS for the unknown team. Kizuna is one of the best PvE characters in terms of doing demons and anything where you need a cleanse and you can't. And yeah, and let's say you get disabled, you use this card, you're now undisabled, clears all debuffs off your team. Very useful. Nalfmi and Raftalia, put them together, broken combo. Nalfmi, literal one-man army. He is a actual one-man. He is the one character who I think can probably solo the majority of teams. If he was built, if he was built up, he could solo the majority of the teams easily. And now let's look at it from other collabs' point of view. So obviously I don't have. Actually, let me just go here and we'll just do all view all characters. There we go. I'm going to go through and I'm going to talk about, every collab has at least had one stinker or several stinkers and two good characters. With this, I'm also going to be counting Slime as the rerun, as that's where the collab, in my opinion, that's in my opinion where I think the collab should be based, was where all the characters got reworked and rebuilt and they became better. That's where I think I should be talking about their release, because I think that's probably the most fair thing to do, because some of those characters, the old characters, are actually pretty decent now, but back in the day when they were released, they were completely horrible. So first, let's start with AOT, which would have been the first collab, not including Slime. On release, Mikasa wasn't too bad for one rule in top 100. Levi wasn't the worst, because his passive made him actually pretty decent. This Aaron wasn't too bad in, like, some PvE content. His passive was completely useless, but his cards weren't too bad. And this Aaron was completely horrible since day one, because obviously transform units are not the best at all. Now, what would have been the KOF? So, I'll do the first KOF first. So, first KOF was Kyo, Rugal, Mai, and Athena. Athena was a good back unit, but never really used. Rugal was meta. Pierce meta. This is where Pierce meta was like a big thing. Like you'd get one turn by Rugal guaranteed. You win second, even if you win first or win second against Rugal, you're still being insta killed. Kyo is probably the most prominent character still today for KOF. Terry kind of got replaced with Reinhardt, and so on and so forth. He slowly fell out of the meta, as more damage dealers were needed on the Barn team other than Barn. Athena is still used in Brawl in the back, because she's actually pretty good at countering the ult rush teams. Mai is still completely useless and has been useless since launch. He's a fun character to use. Iori was a massive letdown. I'm skipping to the rerun, but Iori was a complete massive letdown. He requires Kyo, and these two characters are too squishy. Like, his stats aren't too bad. His attack stats aren't too bad, but you look at his defense stats, like, yeah, they're not the best. And Kyo himself is a very squishy person. 30% crit resistance is okay. His crit defense is high, don't get me wrong, but his crit resistance, it doesn't matter. If you get one crit with Traitor Melee, it's game over. His crit damage is too high. Next collab would be Stranger Things. 11 wasn't too bad on her release, and the other three were completely horrible. They were just unusable, which is kind of sad, as these characters, in my opinion, were just for promotion. They were not made to be legitimate characters in this game. They were made as promotion characters to promote the show. These characters shouldn't have been in the game. They don't deserve to be in this sort of game at all. As the only reason they're in this game is because it's probably easy rights. They probably thought, we'll just do this, that, and that. There we go, got that in the game, free money. Which is what I believe it was. And then we had ReZero. So on the first run of ReZero, Rem wasn't too bad. Ram was always a good back unit. Amelia was broken and Beatrice was completely useless. What was the next new collab? Obviously, we had KOF Rerun, which we covered already. Slime. Okay, Slime. So SLR unit, so it doesn't really count. Horrible, not the best. Okay for a little while. Broken. And that's really it. Some of the characters from the collabs are completely broken, while some of them are just completely useless. Like, his passive completely contradicts his relic. So his relic is like for the little amount of HP he has, he gets more attack, right? And his stance heals him. So why would you want that? You'd want your HP to be as low as humanly possible, so you deal as much damage as humanly possible. But that can't happen if you're constantly healing, especially 20%. So you're losing 4%, no, 5% attack every single time you heal after that turn and you use that stance. It's stupid. I don't understand why they do stuff like this. But next collab would be, I'm gonna say Slime rerun, which was no, we just did Slime. ReZero. So ReZero had the introduction of the most broken human in the game, and still is the most broken human in the game, and one, if not the most broken character with a this ultimate at 3-6. I've still seen this ultimate do 2 million damage. She's a super broken character. Her passive makes her stupidly broken. She buffs everyone on the field. She's literally a ram who buffs her. She's a ram who buffs herself as well. She's a selfish ram. Plus, you can use ram with her as well. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. But you get so much. You get so much stats with it. And obviously, we covered the latest collab, and that's really where we're at now. I think that the future collabs, if there will be any proper future collabs, because obviously Origin's coming out early next year, or the first quarter of next year, will they live up to this hype? Because I think this is a very high bar they've set for characters, and well, I believe that some of these characters were made a very, very long time ago, mainly because of everyone has decently bad stats, but Philo, and guess who just came out recently? Merlin. And what does Merlin need? A support character. And that's where Philo came in. And that's why I think that nowadays the bar is going to be set that one character, so all the characters will be usable, right? But one character out of that collab will be absurdly broken. For example, Nothmi, its stats, defense-related stats, they're not actually too bad. To be fair, they're not too bad. Resistance is pitifully low, but it's not too bad for him. He does buff his defense-related stats some more, which is pretty good. Raftalia stats are horrible, but I think the reason that obviously these two are the first full defense scaling characters. They all completely scale off defense, and that's the reason I think their stats are so bad, is that they are the first of the kind, and I don't think they should really be doing that with collaboration characters. Collaboration characters should be something that they've thought about, and they've seen people use it, they think, oh yeah, okay, this would be very useful for this character, not just they wing it and just hope for the best, because that's what they did with these characters. These characters were just characters they've just winged it, because in the live stream, if you didn't see it, when they were showing off these characters, Nothmi got one shot by Philo. But if you were to put that into actual action, that wouldn't happen. Because you'd probably be running, a decent team instead of what the guy was running. The guy obviously hadn't played this game much, because the voice actor for Gotha was Versa, who's the person using the unknown team and using Philo, had Sari Link, where the person who was using Nothmi had no graces at all and was using SR Meliodas as a link. But if you don't know, having higher stats on a character who has 6/6 will give you a lot of CC, and SR Melee gives you practically no CC because he has no CC. Which is why I think it was a little bit of an unfortunate matchup, but I think that it may have been slightly on purpose as a way of saying, wow, so good Philo is. You summon for Philo, and you think, oh crap, Nothmi's now broken, and Raftali's now broken. Now I've got to summon for those two. I don't think it could have been that, but overall the bar is very set for set very high for collabs. I think if this collab had a story with it, this would probably be one of the best collabs without a doubt in terms of content-wise, because we had a Labyrinth and we've had a Tower Trial. If they were just to add a story to it, this collab probably would have been the top collab, because all the characters are usable. They've had all the content they need. They've got brand new content that we've never seen in a collab before. They've got a Tower Trial. They've got a boss. They've got all this kind of stuff, and it would have been so good if they just had a story. That would have completely just blown this collab off the charts. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.